Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope you are well, wherever you are, whatever the damn time. Welcome back to another YouTube video, and I'm about to head to the gym, but I thought I'd take you through another full day of eating because why not? And also, I've made an increase to my food because body weight has been holding for a little bit. I know that I said I wanted to hold the 106s throughout the course of this month, but I just want to move things a little bit more. It's not even trending upwards, it's just been holding around the same since making that initial bump in food, and that was about a month ago. We're gonna bump up food a little bit, and I'm gonna show you the changes to my food that I've made today. But first things first, before I get meal one in and head to the gym for legs, the morning supplements all lined out. So we got vitamin D3 and K2, a multi, omegas, and glutathione as well. So when it comes to supplementation, this shouldn't just be a bodybuilding thing. These supplements for me would still be in even if I wasn't doing competitive bodybuilding. No doubt I would still be training and I'd be in the gym, but regardless, especially this, like omegas, there's a lot of research that shows higher omega index, reduced all-cause mortality, reduced CV events. Omegas are very, very important. Reduction in Alzheimer's disease. You want to make sure that you have them in your rotation, and you want to make sure you have a high quality, highly dosed one as well. So you want to make sure that you're getting at least 2 grams of omegas. That's what you want to look out for when you're looking at omegas. And then also making sure that they've got a good ratio of DHA and EPA. I recommend the Supplement Needs or the Train by JP, Omega Pro from Supplement Needs. And I think it's called, I can't remember now, Omega Pharma or something from Train by JP. If you want to literally be in a better position in terms of your cardiovascular health and your brain health, you need to be taking that. A multi, just to cover all bases. I eat a lot of fruit and vegetables anyway, to be honest. And then this bad boy of an antioxidant, glutathione, which honestly has been very valuable to me. Whether it's placebo or not, I don't know. I don't want to start making egregious claims, but I find it very valuable. Anyway, I'm going to take all of these and then I'm going to see you for meal number 1, the pre-workout meal. So meal 1 is okay. What were you about to say?
Sweet and sour, smells nice.
It's good. Sweet chili salmon. That's what we got. Sweet chili salmon, 1 fillet with 400 grams cooked weight rice and 65 grams of like this mixed vegetable thing. So it's going to be my pre-workout meal. And yeah, today, so I normally eat the same things every day. I don't normally track my food using something like Chronometer, which is what I'm going to be using today, because it's just a lot easier for me. I would rather do that than track my food day to day. But today, I don't normally have salmon regularly, so I'm going to be tracking that. And then also as well, just to give you an insight into how much I'm eating, I'll be using a tracking app. But yeah, I had a upper body session yesterday and I took some photos post-workout. I was super happy with the way that I look. Just the condition I'm holding at this body weight, 106.5 kilos. I don't look soft really anywhere. It's distributing really well. Glutes and hamstrings still look pretty tight, which is normally where body fat of me accumulates, and I'm just looking fuller and fuller everywhere. So I think it's time for a little bit of a food bump because body weight has been holding. But yeah, training's going fantastically. Anyway, before we get into a ramble, I'm gonna get this down, head to the gym, and then I'll see you for meal number 2. There we have it, meal number 2, post-workout meal, which is gonna be ground rice. We have 125 grams of ground rice. We also have 45 grams of whey. We've got 100 grams of blueberries, frozen, 20 grams of dark chocolate, 90%. And we've got 10 grams of this seed mix, which is basically flax seeds, chia seeds, goji berries, pumpkin seeds, which is really good just to help bump up that fiber and all that goodness that you need. Cinnamon, salt, that's gonna be the meal. I'm actually gonna tune into Unreal on Netflix, which is following the WWE, right? Fun fact, when I was a kid, I used to be quite literally obsessed with the WWE. Obsessed. And as I got older, I just kind of fell out of love with it. But it's really cool to kind of get this behind the scenes thing of WWE. I think and obviously I'm not a big fan now these days, but I think the magic is almost a little bit lost probably with social media. Having access to all of these stars, you can just like DM people who like just DM John Cena and like photos, and like the Undertaker's got Instagram and stuff like that, and it just spoils the magic, right? And when I was younger, I sound old as hell, like I'm not even that old, but when I was younger, there wasn't Instagram, there wasn't Facebook. These superstars you didn't have access to these people. So you would just see them on TV, you'd see their character, and then they'd disappear. Also because it's in America, you wouldn't see them just walking around the street. Like you would just, and this whole thing with kayfabe and whatever, they just wouldn't break it. They would always just stay in character. But regardless, obviously times are different, and it's cool to see that, and it's just giving me a bit of nostalgia watching this. But anyway, post legs, really, really good session today. And as I said in the last video, I've been doing a little bit more frequency on leg training, but the big change has been a reduction in training volume. And I'm going to give Ali another shout out again, because I think I just needed somebody to be like, you should try this. And it's not like obviously what I was doing was not working, but the progression that I'm seeing at the minute is really cool. It's a fun program, and on paper you look at it and it doesn't look like a lot. It's not a lot of sets, right? I'm doing 10 sets of legs, 2 of which are calves on this day and 2 of which are abductors. So 6 sets of different exercises that actually give me anxiety. It's not a lot. It is not a lot. But I think really good programming doesn't need to look magical. It doesn't need to look complicated. I was actually listening to this Chris Beardsley podcast on the way back from the gym, and he was speaking about programming, and he mentioned how complexity a lot of the time actually doesn't really add anything more to a program. And I think a lot of the time as coaches, sometimes we fall victim to wanting to make a program look more complex to try and appease the client a little bit, to try and make them feel as if I'm doing something with this programming, but it's not actually benefiting that client really. It's only just adding complexity, which is probably actually most of the time making the workout or the session just less efficient, just less productive in terms of hypertrophy. So really interesting stuff. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the programming at the minute, and definitely when you're at a certain level, I think you have to take the mantra less is more sometimes. But yeah, had a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm gonna get this meal down, get on with some work. I started watching the Ricky Gervais Mortality, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's his best work. Anyway, see you in a bit. All right, meal 3. So we got chicken and rice. This is one of the meals that I've changed a little bit with the increase in food. So I've got 400 grams of rice, which is the same as normal. We've got 175 grams cooked weight chicken, 100 grams of vegetables, which is peas, and then we've got some dates. So we've got 30 grams of dates and also 55 grams of pineapple, normally 100, but I've run out. I'll probably add a little bit more honey to one of my other meals throughout the day. But yeah, dried fruit because it keeps the volume low. The rice is already pretty high at 400 grams, and I would if I absolutely need to, but I would rather try and keep the food volume low. One, it's easier to get down. I'm still hungry, but I don't need to try and make food volume greater. So keeps the food volume down, helps me with my appetite, and also it helps me with my midsection, the control. Like if I'm eating a lot of food already, just having high volume foods just kind of makes it harder for me to control my midsection. So dates are in and super calorific. So when it comes to calories, so like raisins, dates, like just dried fruit in general is going to be a really easy choice for food. So not that I'm in that position yet, but if you are struggling with food and getting food down, dried fruit is a very, very good one. So I'm going to get this meal in. Meal 4, you can't really see it that well here, but meal 4 is oats. So 100 grams of oats, 45 grams of whey, and we've got 150 grams of blueberries. So that's going to be meal number 4. And you know the off season's going all right when you're still eating the oats. The oats. So yeah, one more meal to go, which is going to be my bagels or bagel, eggs, and bacon medallion meal before I go to bed. So I'm going to enjoy this and see you for the last meal. There it is. So last meal of the day, which is 3 whole eggs. We got 4 bacon medallions under there somewhere. We got 1 bagel with 30 grams of honey, 1 kiwi, and then 1 Braeburn apple. I'm feeling pretty spent. I feel like the training or the new split is catching up with me a little bit. I can't remember the last time I'd done 3 training days in a row. So today was day 3. It was that lower body session. And yeah, it's been a while since I've done that, to be honest. I've been doing lower upper or lower pull and then rest. So 2 days at most for a very long time. I think probably for the last few years, honestly. So it's been a while since I've done 3 training days in a row, and consistently doing that and also getting stronger as well. I think it's now starting to have a bit of an impact. That doesn't mean that I need to now deload or something's going wrong. It's just a result of obviously pushing in the gym and also adapting to a change in training split. So I'll put the macros on the screen anyway of the meals today. Fats were a little bit higher than what I normally have them. They normally sit under 70 grams, but potentially with this increase in food, I may have just increased my fats. I did have salmon today. I did make a few tweaks to make sure that my fats didn't get too high. And that's something that I think, and I've said this before, I don't think your fats need to get super high. I think have a good amount. If you're post-show, definitely bump them up a good amount. But when you're deeper into the off-season, I think higher fats are only going to slow down digestion. Carbohydrates are really the main thing you want to see go up. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave it a like, and I'll see you for the next one.